Welcome to the testing world. In this session, we are going to start data-driven framework with Excel. First, we need to understand what do you mean by data-driven. Data-driven means we are going to execute our test case with the different set of data. Here in data-driven, same test case is going to execute with different set of data and going to generate result specific to the data. So here we need to understand what all the different scenarios where we can use this data-driven. I give you an example. I'm working on a login functionality and I'm taking this example as a manual tester. I'm working on a login functionality. I need to test my user is able to log in successfully or not. So here I can have different set of test cases. First test case, when I'm testing the login functionality with valid credentials, means correct username and correct password. My second test case could be I'm testing with invalid credentials, invalid username, means I'm giving the incorrect username, password is correct, and then my user should not be logged in. I'm going to the third test case where we are testing with the invalid password. In the same way, we can have many other test cases like I'm putting my username in capital letter, I'm putting password in the capital letter. Here this spelling is wrong, so I'll make it correct. Login by username in capital letters, login by password in capital letters. So we can have number of test cases in which steps are same. We are entering username, we are entering password, click on the sign in button and then validating I'm logged in or not. But here data is getting changed. Every time we are using different set of data, on the behalf of that data, my functionality is working. Means if I'm giving the correct username and correct password, it is able to log in. But if I'm giving incorrect username or incorrect password, I should not be logged in. So here we notice in manual testing, we have around 10-12 test cases which are related to the different data. But if we talk about the automation, so how we are going to automate this functionality? We have two options. One option is that we are going to create one automation test case for each of the scenario. Means for valid credentials, it's one test case. For invalid credentials, second test case. For username in capital letter, we have third test case. So it might be possible you have to create 10 or 12 test cases. Here, it's a very simple scenario where you are creating only 12 test cases, but it might be possible I'm working on a registration form and there could be a n number of combination of different data. So we'll have to create 50, 60, 100 test case just because of the different test data. That's not the correct approach if you're talking about the automation. In automation, we must create only single test case and then we have to create our automation framework in such a way that test case is going to execute with different set of data. So that is data-driven. In data-driven, we are going to create one test case for scenario which we want to execute with the multiple data. So we are going to create only one test case. And that test case is going to execute with multiple set of test data. So that is data-driven. Drive the test cases with the different data. So means my test case is going to be drive with different data. It could be any number of data. It could be 10. So my test case is going to execute 10 times with the different set of data. If my data sets are 1000, my same test case is going to execute with that 1000 time with different set of test data. Advantage of this framework would be whenever we are executing our test case with different data, we are going to get result specific to the data. Means I'm executing my same test case with 10 different data sets. And for first 7 data sets, it's getting passed. And for last 3, it is getting failed. So in result, we are going to get 7 times it's passed with data set, which will be mentioned in front of it. And for the 3 data sets, it's getting failed. So we are going to get result specific to the data for which data is getting passed and for which data it is failed. So here data-driven means test case are going to execute with a different set of test data. And now if we have one data, it will execute one time. If we have 1000 data, it will execute 1000 times. Next is framework. What do you mean by the framework? So framework means organized structure. Organized structure means we are going to develop a structure, a project structure. Everything is predefined on a specific place. Like in a framework, normally we are going to have base classes. There we are going to create driver. We have a utility class. We have pages, assertions. So all the assertions, it's not like we are putting the assertion in the test cases. All the assertion will be on the predefined place here in this assertions. Test cases. So all the test cases will be here. Reports will be here. So complete structure will be predefined structure, and it will be an organized structure. And any organized structure, we call it framework. If you have gone through the TestNG, so we call it's a unit testing framework, because in TestNG, if you notice, when we are executing our test case, at the end, reports are automatically generated on a predefined place. We are not defining that. It's already organized, and the framework knows where we need to write report. In the same way, if you generate testng.xml, you know that my testng.xml is going to be generated on a particular place because that's a predefined. So framework means organized, structured, where everything is defined on its own place. Normally, a framework contains base classes. We are going to understand all these options later part of this course. Utility classes, pages, assertions, data generators, test cases, configuration management, reports, input files, logs. Most of the things we are going to generate in this course. Few things I'll give you as an exercise for all of us to perform. So here in this session, we are going to generate a data-driven framework with Selenium, TestNG, Maven, and POM. So these are the major components which we are going to use in this framework. And on this course, we are going to use base classes. Base classes you can understand like all the classes where we are going to write common code which is required in every test case, like we need to start the browser, we need to close the browser. So that kind of code I'm going to place in the base classes. Utility or helper class is required for generating our small utilities, like taking screenshot is a utility. So I'm going to write that kind of code here in the utility. Pages, we are going to implement POM structure, page object model, and all the pages will be placed over here. Assertions, in which we are going to compare actual result with expected result, we are going to place that here in the assertions. Data generators, we are going to generate multiple data that will be used in our test cases. Test cases, we'll have the test cases over here. Configuration management. So all the configurations, like on which browser you want to execute, what will be the username, what will be the password, or maybe any other data which you think that could be configurable, we are going to write in the configuration section. Reports, it's the output report that we are going to get. Logs we are going to generate. Input files. So these are the basic components of any framework. We are going to use these components in our data-driven framework as well. Here we have the data generator. These data generators are specific to the data-driven, because if you are working on any other framework like BDD, keyword-driven, you will find all the options other than this data generator. But here in data-driven, we will find this data generator, which is going to generate test data for our test cases. Everything is done about what is data-driven framework, how we are going to implement that. In the next session onwards, I'll start creating this data-driven framework. That's all we have for this session. Thanks for watching this video. Hello all. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding this video, please ask in the comment section. And also, please like and subscribe for more software testing courses. Also, we are offering a wonderful package of software testing online video courses in $200. Find us on Facebook for more offers and updates. Here is the URL, facebook.com/testingworldindia.